Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I am Jamarajsmith, and it is my desire to help you find your purpose, fulfill your destiny, and to have successful relationships in every area of your life. If you are new to my channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button so that you can be a part of the Jam fam. Well, it is July 2022, and that is the 7th month of the year, and 7 represents completion. And so a lot of times what I do around this time of the year is I reassess and reevaluate some of the goals that I had prior coming into the new year. Now, I know a lot of us have goals. We have things that we put in our planner and on the calendar of things that we wanted to accomplish and things that we wanted to do. Well, I also want us to reevaluate those things. Sometimes we can do things or have ideas of what we want to do and have goals, and we just feel like we have to stick to those goals and we can't deviate from those goals or those dreams or those aspirations. Well, sometimes you need to reevaluate some of the goals and the dreams that you put forth for the year. And around the 7th month of the year, July, that's normally when I do that, because now we're over halfway through the year. And what I've realized is that some of the things that I wanted to do, I'm just not going to be able to do it. And guess what? It's okay. Sometimes we can just get so set on what we want to do, how we want to do it, and we don't leave room for evaluation and leave room to see, is this really going to happen? So that way you don't get upset and you don't feel like, oh, I didn't accomplish this particular goal. Oh, I feel like a failure. No, we don't need to do that. All you have to do is readjust and reassess the situation. And so around this time, that's what I do. I look at the goals. I look at some of the things that I had put on my planner and my calendar, what I wanted to accomplish, what I wanted to do. Some of the things, well, actually, most of the things I've already gotten done, but there are a couple of things where I'm going to have to scratch it off the list. It's just not going to happen, and it's okay. Sometimes we just have to realize there are some things that we may want to do. We're just not going to be able to do it in the time frame that we've allotted ourselves to get the job done. And it's okay. It's all right. You don't have to feel bad about yourself. You don't have to say anything negative. It's things come up. Life happens. And you just aren't able to do it in the time frame that you thought you were going to be able to do it. Some of the things that I have planned, I'm going to have to do it in 2023. I'm not going to be able to get it done in 2022. And I don't want us to feel like we have to beat ourselves up for some of the goals and the aspirations and things that we wanted to do. And sometimes we just have our to-do list and we feel like we have to check everything off the list. And it's okay if you have to scratch something off and put it for next year or put it for another time. And don't feel bad about that. You don't have to feel bad about changing or rearranging anything that you have planned for your life, because it's your life. And as long as we're in the will of God and that God is okay with the decisions that we're making, it's really nobody else's opinion on how we should handle anything else. Because a lot of times we'll go and mention things in the beginning of the year. Oh, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. And you tell your friends or loved ones or family members. And then when they come back and ask you, well, did you ever do this? Or did you ever get that done? I remember you said you wanted to write this. I remember you saying that you were going to go there. And then if you don't do it, then they may say, wow, I thought you said you were going to do this before the year was out, or before we were halfway through the year. And a lot of times they don't mean any harm. It's just that they're reminding you of what you said. That's why you have to be mindful of what you say, how you say it, and who you say it to. Because, I have an accountability partner. So whenever I say something to them, I want them to hold me accountable to what I say. But then you have some people who you may say it to, and they may make you feel bad because you haven't gotten to it yet, or you haven't done it yet, or you haven't even started on it yet. And then they make you feel bad. They don't encourage you or motivate you. They may put you down and say, I knew you weren't going to be able to do it. Or I don't even know why you had that idea in the first place. You don't need any of that negativity in your life. Shut it down. move on. I just feel like when you have someone like that in your life, you don't need to deal with that. You don't even have to accept that. Just shut it down. And so there's a difference. There's an accountability person who will hold you accountable and will motivate you and encourage you to get the job done, whatever it is that you want it to do. And then there's others who just are looking for you to fail. And they may not be doing it on purpose. It's just their personality. It could just be their makeup. It could be they're in a negative frequency. That's just who they are. That's a part of their personality. But like I said, you don't have to accept that or receive it. And so when someone is like that in your life, just don't receive it. Move on. Shut it down. And so when I, say things out of my mouth, I'm very careful of who I say it to, because I don't want what I say to be used against me later on in a conversation. And the enemy will use anybody. Just like God has to have a person to do the working of the ministry, the working of whatever gifts, talents, or whatever your calling is, the enemy also needs a body. And so he will use someone to come against you, to say something negative, whatever it takes to discourage you. The enemy is going to do it. We know the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. That's his job. We're not surprised by that. So he has to use a person to do that. That's why I say just be careful about who you say what to. And it's not that you have to walk on pins and needles. We're not doing that. But just be mindful of the words. And I'm speaking from experience, because I used to be the person that would just blurt out everything I wanted to do in the beginning of the year. I would have my little dream board or whatever the case may be, and show everybody and tell everybody, this is what I have planned for the year. I'm going to do this in 30 days. I'm going to do that in 60 days, 90 days, whatever the case may be. Before June hits, this is what's going to happen. Just blurting everything out to anybody who would listen. And then when things didn't pan out the way I wanted it to, then I would have to hear the negative Nancy say, oh, I told you so. Well, now I've learned my lesson, and now I'm very careful about who I say what to. And that's just because I don't want the smoke. Okay. I don't want to deal with the negativity. So I'm just mindful of what I say and who I say it to. And you need to do the same thing. You can't tell everybody everything. But like I said, because the enemy will use anybody and anything to discourage you. And sometimes, you could be on the brink of getting something done, and then the wrong person will come and say something to you, and then you receive it, and then you just stop. There's something that I wanted to do. There's a conference that I wanted to put on, and I wanted to do it in 2022. Well, the resources are just not there for me to do it in 2022. So now I'm going to have to do it in 2023. But the committee that I had spoken what I wanted to get done too, they could have been like, well, you know what, just don't do it at all. I mean, you said you were going to do it in 2022, and now you're not going to do it till next year. So just, let's just not do it at all. They could have said that, but they know me. And they know that typically if I say that I'm going to get something done, I'm going to do whatever it takes in my will to get it done. And so, when I said, you know what, I think we should just reassess what I want to do, because the way I wanted to put on the conference was kind of different. It was something that I had never experienced before or seen before. And so it's going to just take a lot of maneuvering and a lot of things that people may not be used to, and a lot of time. And that's just not something that I had for this particular conference this year. So that's why I'm moving it to next year. And that's okay, because I know when I put it on, it's going to be everything that God called it to be. And you can't just say, no, I'm not going to do it just because it didn't happen in the time allotted that you felt like it should happen in. Because things happen, things change, life happens. So don't beat yourself up with your goals and things that you had put on your plan or your calendar or your to-do list. And things happen and you're now saying, well, I can't do it anymore. Well, no, maybe you can still do it. You just need to do it in a different time frame. And then maybe it may not need to be as big as you wanted it to be. Maybe condense it down and maybe do something a little bit smaller. That's why I say reassess and reevaluate your goals, because sometimes that's all it takes is to reassess, reevaluate, come back to it, and say, you know what, this is what I'm led to do now. It's all right to change it. It's all right for the time frame to be different from what you wanted. Just know that the fact that you want to do something, that you set a goal, because a lot of people, they may not even have a goal. They may just go throughout their day, living day to day, and say whatever happens, happens. But for those of us who are planners, those of us who have goals, those of us who have aspirations and things that we want to get done, don't be afraid to reassess and reevaluate the goals that you set for yourself in the beginning of the year. Now that we're in July, over halfway through the year, now is the time to look back over those goals and see what you can and cannot do. And if something needs to change or move, do it. Don't not do it. Just reevaluate and see if it can be done another way. Sometimes that's all it takes. So that is your daily download for today. Again, I am jamarajsmith. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and be a part of the Jam Fam. And until next time, have a blessed, prosperous, and successful rest of your day. Go in peace.